Hey everybody. I look at politics and I look at what's going on around the world, what's going on in the United Kingdom, what's going on in Brazil, what's going on, in America. I just like looking at politics and stuff. And I went on Twitter today. Now it's X, but Elon Musk tweeted out something very interesting. So this is from it's something from 2023. So some of these numbers might have changed, but the countries with the most arrests for online comments is let me just read you the list. The United Kingdom is number one, Belarus, Germany, China, Turkey, Russia, Poland, Thailand, Brazil, Syria, India, Iran, France, and the United States on this list came sort of last at the bottom. And, it doesn't surprise me. And the reason why it doesn't surprise me is because, the United Kingdom, let me just start with that. Let me just start with the United Kingdom. When it comes to the United Kingdom, I'm seeing all of these, situations where police or the authorities are coming to folks' apartments and houses and stuff like that just because something they posted online. And so, I've seen this happen for so many years. And it's just very interesting that more people are talking about it right now. But, in some of these places, if you say anything against, a leader or anything that is, funny or a joke or a meme, you can be arrested. And that's it's crazy. Like, I couldn't imagine if that happened in America. And so, when you look at these countries, and like I say, some of these countries where, they always are telling America about what we should do and about freedom and all this other stuff, but, you can't even post something online without, possibly being arrested. Like that's crazy. But, that's happening right now because a lot of these leaders and a lot of folks in power, they don't want people to talk and have open discussions about things. They want you to sit up and watch, BBC News and just be kept in the dark about a lot of things. Many of these leaders and politicians love to control the narrative. So it's just like they want you to sit up and, if you're in the United Kingdom, watch BBC all day, BBC News, and then sit up and, just believe everything they have to tell you. And so, it makes sense. And like I say, is I've also, seen some news where, you have some of these countries that are trying to, make rules for podcasters and things like that. Like, anybody who just speaking out and that has an opinion, they have a problem with. And it's sort of sad, but, I'm not surprised. And a lot more of this is going to happen around the world if people don't speak up and highlight some of these issues that are going on. The only way is for folks to speak up because, when you're aware of certain things, now it makes it harder for politicians to get elected and pass certain laws and things like that. And so, when you look at people like Keir Starmer has been a disaster, not necessarily with everything else. Well, let me take that back. He's been a disaster with everything when it comes to the economy, when it comes to, free speech. And, so many people elected this guy, thinking, oh, well, he's going to make a big change. And, a lot of these politicians come in and they always act like, well, you know what, we have compassion for people and all this other stuff. But if you look at immigration, the immigration crisis that's happening in some of these countries, if you look at what's happening with free speech, what's happening with the economy in some of these countries, it's a disaster. And so, that list doesn't surprise me. And I would tell anybody who, is interested in this topic, do some research and just look into, countries that are arresting people for online comments. Like, just do your research and, talk about these things with your friends because it could happen in your country. And so, again, let me know how you feel about, this list, and let me know how you feel about, free speech online. Like, do you agree with these countries, that are cracking down on, free speech online, or, what's your opinion? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you.